Hey guys, I'm Yuichi Murata. I work as engineering manager. My mission is building the best global engineering team from Tokyo. Please follow me on the Twitter or LinkedIn with this ID. I write some blog in a Medium with this ID as well. So today I would like to talk about the Japanese culture things. Why Japanese care atmosphere so much. Last evening, I joined some kind of tech event. What I found on the tech event was nowadays, much more numbers of the Japanese companies hire English talents, and some of the company even have some kind of specific goal with the time range to transform the team to be internationalized. I'm pretty happy to kind of see these kind of a trend. But at the same time, I think I should, broadcast some of the ideas, helping the kind of English speaker talents to get along with the kind of Japanese workplace. So let's get started. So there is a book named The Research of Atmosphere. So basically, this is a very classic Japanese book. So even Japanese, it's gonna be hard to kind of read it. So and I believe there is no English version. So let me kind of summarize that. So basically, Japanese cares atmosphere. That's gonna kind of make some control in the meeting sometimes. So basically, atmosphere is in the mood of the kind of discussions or ideas. And basically, in this book, the atmosphere is something similar to the context behind the decision making. And sometimes these kind of a context becomes absolute assumptions. Then once after this kind of things happens, it's kind of hard to change their mind. That's gonna be the tendency of the Japanese cultures. So when you're working with some kind of a Japanese teams, maybe you might face some situations like some decision made by some kind of non-logical kind of explanations, but somehow they are stubborn to stick with that. Maybe that is because of some kind of a context gets built. That's hard. That make people hard to change their mind or making a different opinion. So basically, you might know that the Japanese love the similarities. There is actually kind of a concrete fact that the Japanese love similarity comparing to the other regions of the peoples as well, regions. So one of the hypotheses why we have this gonna be the because our we or our ancestors used to be the rice makers. So as you know, Japanese like loves rice, right? And basically they are almost all the peoples were kind of raising the rice in the ancient times. Actually, raising the rice gonna requires a much more support from the others. So the family members working together, or even the neighbors, helping the other to kind of complete the work. So because of that, none of the Japanese can survive without that kind of neighbors kind of help. That's gonna maybe potentially make these kind of tendencies. That is also kind of make the tendency of the kind of Japanese loves kind of similarities, which can also strengthen the impact of the atmosphere. Then how to deal with atmosphere? Since the world is drastically changing, so sometimes these kind of culture gonna be maybe have the strong negative impact on the decision making. So the I have several idea. So I think that it's the best practice is actually put your context in before the some other wrong context gets built. That's gonna be first approach we wanna take. As long as the right context gets built, I think that we can get good kind of progress on that kind of discussions. So if you learn about the Japanese culture before, you might heard the word of the nemawashi before. That's gonna be the kind of unique culture in Japan. So before the kind of meeting gets started, you want to kind of talk to the several key person first, and put your idea into the person. Then once after the kind of meeting started, actually the people start talking about their idea based on your context, so that you can control the atmosphere. That's gonna be the one of our approach. And I think that even the we need some idea, even the wrong context already gets built. In this case, I think that you want to find some key person who have a same links, but have the strong influence to the other peoples. So since the key person have the influence, maybe that person have much more possibility to change the atmosphere or build the yet another atmosphere than you. So and as long as you have a right ideas, maybe somebody else also might think about it, but they might not be able to speak up just because of the impact of the kind of atmosphere. So as soon as you talk about those people, maybe that key person might understood your idea. He might be encouraged to kind of raise that kind of a new idea to the others. Then we might have that kind of much more kind of potential, to kind of change the direction of the decision making. So you feels like maybe this kind of way of the communication is really cumbersome. It is actually yeah cumbersome, I think, and I don't like that as well. But one of the good news is Japanese are very fast once after context get changed. So for example, like country of the Japan gets devastated after the World War II, but the economics growth after the World War II in Japan was drastic, just because the context get changed. They changed the way of the thinking drastically, then make a kind of economic growth drastically. So here is the summary of the talk. I talked about the characteristics of the atmosphere. Atmosphere looks like some kind of context, and that context becomes absolute assumption, which can make the people's idea sticking with something. And I also kind of talk about Japanese tendency to love similarity. So to deal with that, I think that you wanna put your context in before the other wrong context gets built, and you wanna find a key person to make influence to change the atmosphere. That's all the context. That's all for today's talk. I hope you kind of enjoy. Thank you for watching. See you soon.